This is part 3 of looking at District Benchmark Math Grade 5. In this particular session, we're going to look at the classroom with Anthony Castellano, a fictitious name. And there's 3 things that Anthony's going to want to see on this particular report. 1 is, how did his class do overall? 2, how are they performing on each standard? And the third part, he'll want his math test right in front of him to see how they did on each particular item. As we look at how he's done as a class overall, using the table on the left and the pie chart on the right, you can see that about half his class was in the basic, about a fifth of his class were far below basic, about a fifth of his class were proficient, and over here you can see only 1 student was advanced. The nice part is that he didn't have any in the far below basic. We drop down now to the actual standards, and we can see that it's a real mix. On his first one here, he has exactly half of the class did well on that particular standard, half of the class did not. He has at least 4 items there, and as you recall from a previous session, you need 4 or more questions to make it a test that really does tell you whether or not they're doing well on a standard or not. If we look down here at one of them that he's doing fairly well on, he's got 73% that are doing well. So in this particular area with 73%, he may want to look at those particular students that are having problems and give them some extra time. When he's over here over 50% of his class, it may be in the category of going back and doing some type of reteach, hopefully with a little bit different method to go about it. Down here at the question on standard 1.1, we're looking at 25% of the students got it right, but then you only were working with 1 question, which does not really give you an indication of how well students are doing on a standard. We drop down now to item analysis part, and again you need the test in front of you to have it make sense. And you can see that greens are a really nice thing for you to look at. You like to see all greens. Oranges, though, it's a little bit deceptive when you look at it and see that there's oranges and say that they're far below basic, because actually what the orange is telling you is that about 25% were getting a particular question right, which if you have A, B, C, and D, that's about what you'd indicate if it was just randomly picking a letter. So 25% may be telling you that students really don't know how to respond to that particular one at all. They're just guessing. The one that's really fascinating, though, is the first question, and that is with the star over here on A as being the correct answer, you have 24 students that pick B. Now 24 students selecting B means they were intentionally selecting a letter. And then you have to have your test in front of you to ask yourself the question, why are they selecting B? And the first thing you really want to check is, did you put the answer key correctly in place? Next thing you may want to ask is, why are they selecting B? Is it a well-written question? Or in this case, if it was well-written, what is there in letter B that could be like an order of operations that students will pick that particular one? Maybe it's a simple correction with the students. In this case, there's something going on that made him pick B, and you're going to want to try and find out. So there's a lot of good information you can find once you get down into the item analysis. Again, this particular report is one of the ones that you're going to use a lot as a teacher, and you're going to want to spend some time with this.